to meet the HR show with me, Laurenelle. Today, we'll be venturing into the data scientist career. What does it involve? And if you want to become a data scientist, what do you need to have? Welcome.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yes. Kindly introduce yourself.
Thank you. Kennedy Wangari is my name. I'm a data scientist with Zetova, helping build data-driven AI solutions that are powering the supply chain ecosystem. And what we're doing is we're building AI solutions that ensure that our African digital marketplace in terms of procurement is more collaborative, more inclusive, and value-driven using AI.
AI.
Yes.
Kindly explain to us what AI is.
Great. Artificial intelligence in layman's term is basically where you programming a machine or you building a software that's able to mimic human behavior and human intelligence. So what do we mean by human intelligence? We're talking of the features and the abilities of a human being to be able to, be it in speech, be it in the machine learning vision, be it in how we're able to perceive things. So you're now able to train or be able to build a machine or a software that's able to mimic human behavior, and it's able to perform that specific task without a human interference and can be able to do it better. And already we're having various useful use cases of artificial intelligence. And you also mentioned data science. You also talked about data scientist. And data science is one of the subfields that along the way we'll get to understand what's more to data science. There are also other topics such as machine learning that help us to be able to achieve machine learning and deep learning. And I believe as we move along, we'll get to understand what do they mean and what do they define when it comes now to a career in data science.
Okay. What is data science? What does it involve as such?
Great. Data science, from a technical point of view, is an intersection of different fields. We're talking of data and science. So there's an intersection from one, the business domain in terms of where is this data coming from, which kind of domain is it coming from. There's also the application of mathematics and statistics. And also the application of business, business knowledge, statistics, and mathematics to be able to build that kind of AI-driven solution.
So if someone loves math,
yes,
science, business, there's also chemistry inside.
If you are to move into the chemistry field, yes, you can also apply artificial intelligence.
You can also apply. For how long have you been doing this?
Close now to 3 years.
3 years?
Yes.
How's the experience?
It's been quite a ride. It's been one interesting journey. It's been rewarding. It's been challenging. And it's hard. It's great here. You know, in AI, there's a lot in terms of the field is growing. So you have to keep learning. You have to keep experimenting and exploring which different ways can we use data to be able to make our work more efficient. So there's a lot to learn, a lot to experiment, and it's been great for me. Yes.
Did you study for this?
My background is in software engineering, specifically information technology, from the university, from Jomo Kenyatta, which I'll be graduating this year.
So you got a job before graduating?
Yes.
Very lucky are you. You give us that whole journey, yes? And
how I got into data science is quite interesting.
Yeah.
And my journey in data science, before joining JQuad, I would probably take you a brief to my history to my journey.
Let's go there.
And I got introduced to computers back in class 5. And it's at that point when I got fascinated, and I was excited to know that to operate a handset, to be able to communicate. And that was the point where I was intrigued and wanted to learn more. How do you build applications, or how do you build softwares that support such kind of a handset and that enables you to do communication and all that? And I made a mental note that I'll one day get to build either softwares that power that phone, or I'll be able to build a phone. And that's how I was able to go through my primary school education. Joined Starehe Boys Center for my high school studies, and I was lucky to join a class that offered technical courses, that's business studies, French, and computer studies. And I was able, I really loved the computer studies classes, and ended up taking computer. And it's at that point now I made a mental decision that upon transitioning to university, I would take up computer science. So I was lucky. I was able to join JKUAT, and I joined to pursue my course of choice, information technology.
Yes.
And now at the point now, I'm already undertaking the course that I love. In my first year, I spent the better part of the year exploring the different fields, because at that point now I came to learn there's more to computer science.
Yeah.
It has different fields. You're talking of robotics, you're talking of cybersecurity. And I realized that by the end of the first year, I used to tend to incline more to courses around data, talking of business intelligence, data warehousing, database management, and that's how I was able now to take up a direction path in that line, from the courses that I was taught in databases to now moving advanced.
Okay, you've mentioned your passion started way earlier. Did you have someone in your line who you looked up to and you're like, I'd really want to be such a person?
Great, that's a good question, because if I look at my journey, the contributions that have really propelled and pushed me to the level that I'm at has been because I've had a very strong supportive system from both academic, looking back at campus, the mentors, looking back at university, and also when I was able to transition for my attachment at NCBA Bank, because I feel that was the pivotal point, because I was able to join NCBA Bank as a business intelligence analyst intern from the skills that I'd gained from the online courses. And that's the point where I was now able to get mentors who've really supported me, and I've been able to grow thus far. And the aspect of having a strong supportive system, the mentors, learning a team of peers whom you can learn along with, and also people whom you aspire to be, you don't want to be like them, has been great and has really motivated and encouraged me.
I'm getting the point where you're saying it's more of passion that drove you to actually go online, look for classes, join university, being able to just be at par. Through that, how has it developed you as an individual?
I can say I've learned a lot of not just skills, or not just being able to gain competencies in artificial intelligence, data science and analytics, but I've also been able to gain other transferable skills, because it means you have to take that initiative to decide to learn, and besides that, you realize that there are also skills that I've been able to gain, and the discipline to keep myself that I need to learn. If there's like for me, I have a schedule every day, I have to take up a slice of time to learn. So the kind of routine and the systems that I've set to be able to learn online, to overcome the challenges, has really helped me to even transfer those skills in other areas, and to remain disciplined, to remain focused and purposeful, that I would one day want to become a data scientist and be able to grow and to help businesses solve their problems.
People would say science and data. Like, for example, you interned at ABSA. How do you get the data?
There are different ways that you can collect data, both as an individual and also from an organization point of view. Mostly for organizations, you find that they have ERP systems, that is enterprise and transaction databases, whereby they're able to store their day-to-day data, transactional data. There are also times you can be able to use external data. By external data, we mean you can be able to pull data from social media to also have a better understanding of what our customers are talking about, or particular brand, either from Twitter, from Facebook. So you can also be able to pull external data and put it together in a data warehouse, or a data storage, a location where you're able to store your data. And then from there, you can be able to use your data for data-driven decision making, and your data scientist can come in. And also, as a data scientist, you can also be able to use techniques in artificial intelligence to create synthetic data. By synthetic, we mean artificial, and that's why we can see of late we have cases of fake videos, fake music, because you can still be able to use historical data to be able to generate new and fake data. So the different ways, there are also techniques in artificial intelligence that would allow you to create synthetic data, and there are also the different ways you can collect and put your data together. But the main different ways are where you have the databases, where you store your day-to-day data, and also being applying different techniques to pull data from different social media sites, and
get
putting
it into
together.
one place.
Yes.
Okay. How does your day look like? Your schedule?
My day rotates around 3 key things. One of them is coding. That's basically where now you're writing the code for the software or the particular task, or be it maybe you want to ease to automate a task. So a big aspect of my day involves coding.
Yeah.
Also, my day rotates around doing research, because we talked of data science being an intersection of various fields.
Yes.
Involves more of doing experimentation, more of research, and exploring which techniques works best with your data and your particular problem. My day also involves having meetings with my data team, and also with the stakeholders, and also with the other business teams, to be able to understand what are the problems, or what is it, maybe an example with the marketing team, what are the marketing strategies, how can we infuse data-driven marketing strategies. So my day also involves having meetings with stakeholders, clients, either internal, external, executive. Also involves me communicating my result of my work and the progress.
Where have you reached? Yeah.
And also my day involves, besides meeting, besides coding and research, also involves some time off to rest. As a team, we usually have 30 minutes where we have, we call it a retrospect, or moments to just reflect on what worked for the day, and also the 30 minutes to rest and think, what do we need to do for tomorrow. So there's that part where you've got to just rest your brain, and also be in meetings, coding, and being able to communicate your results or your progress work.
Yeah.
Yes.
How do you deal with burnout?
It's been quite a challenge for me, considering that at the same time, besides being a data scientist, I'm also an AI community lead. And by that it means, I mean that I'm also involved with developer communities, in this case artificial intelligence communities, as a technical community builder, whereby we're able
now,
to...
when we go back to developing community leader, what does that entail? Yes,
being an AI community leader means you learning, you working and growing with a developer community. A developer community is basically a community of people who share similar interests, in that they want to learn data science. They're there because they want to learn data science, or to collaborate with others, or to share the work that they're doing. So you all share similar interests. Being in the AI community. So for me, I come in as a leader in terms of I'm both learning with the community and at the same time supporting the deep learning.ai community in Nairobi. And it's through the active contributions and what we've been doing from the community that I was able to build at my university, up now to the developer community that we have in Nairobi with over 300 members. That has contributed to Google recognizing the work that we're doing and our contributions, and awarding us the badge of becoming the second Google developer expert in machine learning in Kenya.
How did you get that? That one was a very, very huge award. How did you get that?
Oh, great. Just a background to what the program entails. That's the Google Developer Expert program. And specifically Machine Learning Tracker, is that it's a Google invite only program. You do not apply for the program. And the program basically brings together experts, or not so experts, but those who understand the Google technologies, and they're in a position where they can be able to help businesses and help people solve problems, and at the same time support the growing community, open source. So with that in mind, for me, I've been actively involved in different ways. One of them is content creation, technical content creation around machine learning, and that's looking at now the Google product, in this case is TensorFlow. I've been involved in writing content on LinkedIn, actively, with a follower community of over 35,000 followers.
That's really
and
nice.
Also on Reddit, and also being on TV, having expert sessions locally, and I've also been involved in open source contributions. And open source, it means you're able now to contribute to open source artificial intelligence projects that are supported by Google products. And your contributions are significant to a point that Google is able, so in the different activities that you're doing, I also have a colleague whom we also document content on YouTube. So all these activities and efforts supporting other communities, if it's like locally in Kenya, we've been able to provide 1,500 scholarships for others to continue learning.
1,500.
Yes, through Data Camp to continue learning data science. Okay. So all those different initiatives and activities all geared towards furthering the access to data science and more so machine learning knowledge. Yes. And the efforts that we've been taking, be it creating communities and supporting the communities that are there, is what led me to be noticed by Google, got nominated, went through the interviews, took a whole 6 months period.
6 months of waiting, whether you're in from March. From March.
Yes.
Till probably March, April, May, June, July,
end of August. End of August, that's when after the 2 interviews I was now confirmed as the second Google developer expert in Kenya. So we're now 2, we're 2 male, and we are working towards championing for the female voice. You
have said male, and I was like, where are our females?
I feel that's part of what I'm working on right now, to see that those female and the ladies in data science and machine learning space who've been making contribution to our communities, that we're able to recognize the great work they're doing and also have them in the program. So that
currently, are we having ladies within?
Yes, we do have notable ladies across Kenya. Maybe I could mention a few.
Please do.
We do have under Nairobi Women in Data Science and Machine Learning Community, we have Rosalind Delilah. We also have other various communities such as Microsoft Artificial Intelligence Community that are also led by female community builders. And we feel, for us as the 2 developers in Kenya, our main task and our main mandate moving forward is to also create a platform and for the female speakers and the female data scientists, so that they can also be able to get to be recognized by Google, the great work they're doing, and to also motivate them to continue with what they're doing.
Yes, and also to lift other ladies who are afraid and they're saying, that one sounds like a male
it's a more
career,
male-dominated
but
role.
it's for both genders. Now, how has this award impacted your career?
Getting recognized by Google was just a result of the work that we've been doing from JKUAT to now globally. And I think for me, it's coming as a motivation to just continue the work that we're doing.
Yes.
In that one, it's not a role or a job with Google. It's just a badge of honor, and there's no monetary value to it, but it encourages me and keeps me on the move that if someone at Google can be able to recognize the little efforts that we're doing in Kenya,
that's nice.
That's nice, and it means we can be able to continue scaling up. So for me, it's more of it's a passion to give back to the same community that has supported me, and also to pay the card forward to those who are coming after us, so that if it's like the case of JKUAT, those who come after us, they'll be able to find a thriving community that they can grow with. If it's locally in Kenya, we're also able to create a high impactful community for those who are coming after us. So that's what pushes me. That's what I feel that's the impact that this particular recognition brings in that it encourages me to keep on pushing on, and that what we're doing is right. How
do you get your projects?
Great. From a data science point and also working with Zetova, for us as Zetova, we do partner with various organizations within Africa, because we're looking at Africa is our marketplace, specifically on their supply chains, to be able to build data-driven solutions. So for us, we work with different clients, more so locally. We've been able to work with KEMSA. We've also been able to work with Kengen, with ABSA, and also we're now scaling to the whole of African context.
Nice.
And besides now my work, so that's how we're able to get
some of the projects.
But besides now working as with the company, other different ways that you can get access to data science and AI projects would be either working as a consultant, consulting for various businesses. You can also be able to get open projects. You can also be able to do, there are companies who opt to give projects in the form of data science competitions, so that the winners can now be able to do the projects. So that could also be another way to get access to projects.
Yes.
There are also open source projects that you can do and then you get paid freelancing. So there are basically different ways you can get access to either projects to help you to build your portfolio or to also be able to get paid projects.
So you can decide either to be employed or decide to be your own boss.
Yes, but when you're starting off, you know, you don't have that experience, you don't have either a company or a space where you can be able to practice your skills as you make your contributions. That's where now the competitions, the open source projects, be it on either GitHub and other data-driven competitions, and hackathons, those are the different ways, or maybe even being creative. You can look at your community and see what kind of projects,
what can I add to the community?
with the skills that you've gained maybe from an online course and you've tried always, you've not maybe even be able to get an internship. You can look at, like in our case, I remember when we were doing our final year project, we somewhat wanted to make best use of the biometric data that was captured by JQuat to come up with an AI biometric system. So you can also be able to look at your society and see what problems are there and how can you solve them from a data-driven point of view.
What are some of the challenges that you faced through your career?
Great. One of the challenges that I've faced is being able to strike a blending, not really a balance, a blending between schoolwork, learning, schoolwork, online learning, taking up of the courses, and at the same time of been building a community. So that was really quite challenging because being able to strike a balance in all these, and at the same time you also want to integrate your personal and social life and all other facets in your life. It was quite a challenge when I was starting off in my journey. And I think along the way, we've been able to build a system of routine that has enabled me to, up to this point, I can be able to still continue serving the community and at the same time still have a bit of a balance with my life.
Yes.
So that has been quite a challenge. And the challenge comes in because you find that AI is an evolving field. It's a field where you have to keep on constantly learning.
Every single time the trends keep on coming, does coding change? Or it's the same language?
The technologies and the ways of doing things, since from artificial intelligence field, if you compare with software engineering, it's still in the early stages. So it's yet to get to a maturity level whereby you can just plug and play and get things on the go. So
you're good to go.
And if you even look at locally, we're still in those early stages of even companies adopting data-driven ways of how they solve their problems, the decision making and all that. So my key challenge has been trying to blend in what I do, and also at the same time have a life. And
having a life so that you're not too much sucked in to technology and you forget, there are people who exist. So there's someone who is watching outside there and they're like, I really need a motivation, or I need to know how can I be able to survive in this field.
One, embrace a learning mindset. To one, always have that curiosity to keep on learning, to keep on gaining new skills, and also being able to be someone who is self-driven in terms of taking up initiatives, to think not just in terms of how can I solve business problems. You're just
being told, kindly do this, kindly do this. Also, you as a data scientist should be able to know, hey, I need to do this.
And also not just look at I want to transition and progress to the industry, but also look at, with the skills that you have, what have you done for your community? And your community can be your immediate context, can be the people around you. So look at, in whichever field that you're in, because we're all generating data in different fields.
True.
Look at how can you apply data-driven techniques. If you're in HR, how can you start gaining those skills and be able to solve the problems within your domain and also within your community. And all these will count in the long run towards building a strong portfolio, a portfolio that will get you jobs, or a portfolio that will even open opportunities for you to either realize that a particular problem you're solving for society
Yes.
can be translated to a business.
Has it been embraced in Kenya?
Yes, as a country, we can say we're in the early stages.
Okay.
We've seen development work in terms of research, in terms of funding, in terms of talent. We're even now looking at education. We now have degrees from various universities and other programs that are coming up. So we can say locally as a country, from an academic point of view, and also even from the government point of view, there's that support, because from the government, you're able to see that in 2018, they launched the Artificial Intelligence and Blockchain Task Force team that has been working. They're able to provide recommendations in terms of, from a government point of view, how do we move towards achieving an AI-powered future. So you can say there have been initiatives, there have been efforts. If you look at businesses, they already, those big companies like of Safaricom that are now already moving into big data. And also for the other companies, they're already realizing that there's need for us to figure out how do we derive insights and power our data decision-driven making processes with all the volumes of data that we have. So we can say we're still at the early stages, but there is great progress in that direction, from funding, from talent, from government support, with now the communities coming up. So there's that synergy, and I believe this is the best time for us, both students and those in the workforce, to start thinking in terms of how do we move forward in a data-driven way, in whichever particular role you're in. Think in terms of how is AI and automation coming to change how my job or how I do things in my field, and how can I upskill myself, or else you become obsolete. Can
there reach a time where people will be replaced by the AI?
No. And the reason why I say so, if you look at the role of AI that's growing as AI matures and develops in different sectors and different fields, you realize that AI is coming in to provide a guiding and supporting role. There's that fear that AI will come to replace people in their jobs. But if you look at how AI is bringing the changes in the workforce, it's coming to make people have better jobs, because we're looking at, there are those manual and dangerous and risky jobs. AI is coming to automate. So it basically means you'll still have a job, but a more better and safer job. So it's only for you to not be obsolete. You've got to think in terms of, again, how do you skill yourself, or how is AI coming to make things easier and better in your field? And look at it as AI is coming to provide support. So if you're at a level where you're not upskilled and know how to make best use of your data in your particular role, and then you become obsolete.
That's true. Thank you very much for having us. This is Meet the HR Show, and we like to interact with as many professionals as we can, and that's the wonderful journey of Mr. Kennedy. He's a data scientist, and from that I've been able to learn so much. Till next time, this has been Meet the HR Show with me, Larnell.